welcome to round number 11. For the Raft Racing League Division 1. Sponsored by our kind friends at Simracer Coin. Thank you very much. We are we are waiting for a couple of drivers, one, two drivers, where because I decided to start the stream a little bit early. Thank you very much, Lewis. So yeah, we just had two amazing races in divisions 2 and 3, where in division 2, where I raced, we had Stefan Champ winning the race ahead of Ray. But that wasn't the big story of that division today. But yeah, now we're in Division 1, and Division 1 is actually wrapped up. We have Shawnicus winning Division 1 last time out, where Lynch didn't quite get the points needed. If we can see the drivers readying up to start the Grand Prix. But we still have a very interesting fight for the constructors with Mercedes, Haas, Aston Martin just within 20 points of each other. As we have Fair feeling down after getting a booster shot, and I don't know why Blyther retired. I think it just crashed, but I'm not sure what actually happened. But yeah, as I was saying, Division 1 drivers is wrapped up. Sean is the champion, but we still have an amazing fight for the Constructor Championship. Let's just hope it's dry for them today. So then, waiting for the drivers to do their setups, and here they come. First out is Fair. Let's see what they can do for this race. Just a single half today, which can be a bit tough for them, but at the same time, Mercedes also only have one driver, so it's going to be very interesting to see what is going on there. Aston Martin have two drivers? James and LH. So Aston Martin could possibly make up some ground today. But there is one issue. This track is incredibly easy to spin. As speed gets disqualified, had a qualifying ban to serve, so that's why speed is starting off. Yeah, it's a very easy track to spin at. Almost every curve wants to throw you. So, yeah, good luck everybody. But here we go then, Fayer coming over the start finish line to begin the first hot lap of this session. And we have a very tricky sector one with a lot of right, left, which, as Faye runs wide, very, very wide. Going past, but it's a very, very tricky section, and especially if you are on a pad. So we'll see how pad drivers, if there are any in Division 1, deals with that. But now then, we have TRRL pants coming up towards the hairpin. Oh, as Fayer is getting out of the way, scrambling. Coming towards a deceivably tricky corner, which is very easy to get okay, but very tricky to get right, and very easy to get a couple of warnings from running wide. I am not at all talking about personal experience. But now then, Pants coming through the final chicane as reloaded. He does a 130.3 on the mediums, but RL Pants 129.9 and Jonesy 129.8. We'll go on board with Lewis the Baker as James, RL James, goes provisional pole 29.7. Lewis the Baker, last year's champion in Division 2, coming around the final corner now to set a 1:29.8, third place on the mediums. We have LH coming through the final corner now, and LH sets a 1:29.5. The Aston Martin is looking mighty fine. And this will be something for Sean and Fayer to worry about. These two aboard Pickle Monkey coming towards the line. 131. Go on board with Rufafa in the Alpine. It's currently up. My guess is, as I just realized, I shouldn't have that on. Just in case. Yeah, Rufafa hasn't had the best of seasons, but hopefully will survive. Will survive. I get annoying in chat. Lovely. Wufafa then. Coming towards 130R, I think. And now through the final chicane. And comes over the line for a 131.0. Nice place. Ryan Field coming over the line. 143, that's not representative as Jonathan Cox has had a slight moment. But here we have Shaunicus. Oh, has a little moment out of the final chicane. But that doesn't stop Sean from getting provisional pole at 129.2. As we will go on board. Oh, Ryan gets a little bit wide but doesn't invalidate. And more importantly, it doesn't get thrown off by the curbs. Oh, it goes wide and comes on the grass through the hairpin. Maybe a bit too eager in the Ferrari. But should still be able to improve on the previous lap time. So then Ryan coming over the line, 135. Again, a couple of mistakes here and there, and we'll definitely be able to find even more time. But now then, fair, second attempt. Gets that spot on. And now coming towards the hairpin. Terribly sorry for that. Fair. Oh, gets out a bit wide and gets out even wider here. So easy to do if you get it wrong. James is on a hot lap to try and take back that provisional pole, but it didn't look like the greatest entry into the S section. But as improved, it must have been very good. Obviously, in the Raft Racing League, pole is worth points, so pole is even more important here in the Raft Racing League compared to in both real life and in other leagues. Now then, James to the second sector. It's purple through that sector as well. It's looking like a really good lap. Doesn't attack the curbs as much, but RL James comes through and takes provisional pole, 129.1, and now we have RL LH44 coming towards the second sector as well. But first you go over the bridge, and then you go through 130R. That's what it's called. I am not 100% sure, but I think so. Someone correct me in the comments if I'm Wrong about that. But LH44 coming through and takes provisional pole. 129 flat. Go on board with Pan. Actually, we will not, because we will follow on board with Shawnicus on the hunt for that first position in qualifying. It's looking super smooth through here. Jonesy, who's still retired, obviously retired after setting the first lap, as Sean sets the first purple first sector. Jonesy is still in fourth. Actually, scratch that. P5, Appledorn takes P4 away. Oh, everyone makes me have wrong pants. Up into P3 in the Williams. But Sean coming towards the second sector. Goes purple through there as well. It's looking like a very good time. It's looking like a 128. Shawnicus 128.5, improves by 7/10 and is half a second clear. So we'll have Lewis the Beaker. Actually, we're going board with Pickle Monkey, as we've already been on board with Lewis the Beaker on a lap. Oh, and Pickle Monkey goes wide and invalidates, but manages to keep it out of the wall. It's like the squall. Comes towards the line, improves P10. Takes that away from Pickle Monkey just. Now then, Fair, third time's the charm, has gotten through the technical bits and just have one hurdle remaining. The final chicane. How will that go? Takes it slightly cautious. To be fair, just wants to get a time on the board. Looks a little bit shaky out the exit, and Fair goes P10. Lewis has invalidated. This is not out on a flat. So we'll go on board with Ryan, who has improved to a 130. And he's gonna look to improve even further. Actually have a yellow flag that's in the house of Fair. Trying to save the tires. As you can see, the tunnel. What's that tunnel? Japan, the only figure of 8 track on the calendar. It's a bit special. Now then, Lewis goes P5. No? Someone went up. Appledorn P6, I think. Appledorn was in. Something happened. Yeah, Ryan. Okay, we'll go on board with Wufafa and then quickly swap to Ryan, as Wufafa is further ahead on the track and starts their final hot lap, unless they do 2 in a row, which isn't perfect for the tires. Wufafa. The cars is in the way as Ryan retires. Looks like turn 3 or 4. in the start of the S section. My guess would be getting on a curb and losing it, which is, as I said, extremely easy to do. With Fafa then, oh, a little bit wide, had to get off the throttle. As we have the whole of top 6 on an outlap, all of them looking to get that P1 spot. I personally think it will go to Shonicus. But now then, with Fafa coming over the line, goes P7. And Jonathan Cox has invalidated. So then, a lot of drivers on the same piece of tarmac. Pans comes into the pits. So we're going down with Appledorn as they are furthest ahead. And then I'll try and swap as quickly as possible through the grid. But now then, Appledorn on the final run of this round 11 qualifying. Oh, and has a moment, and it's wide, and that's not gonna be good. And James retires. James retires. Where? Out there? That's not good. So LH. We have a qualifying finishing up. LH is up, down, or right or left, and has a moment and loses it. Lewis is also behind. And Reloaded retires. And the hairpin. Now then, Lewis. Has Lewis improved? Otherwise it's gonna be pole for Sean. Lewis is still behind. And now it showed I have no idea what's going on. We'll wait and see until Lewis crosses the line to see what's actually happening. Lewis the Beaker doesn't improve. Sean does improve, only slightly, but 1:28.5 is the pole time. As LH had a moment and doesn't improve. So then, that is qualifying over for round 11. Shonicus on pole and gets a couple of points. LH 44 and James doing what they can to get Aston Martin into the fight for the constructors P2 and P3. RL Pants P4 in the Williams. Lewis the Beaker P5 McLaren. Appledorn P6 in the Alpine. Reloaded gets P7. Wafafa P8. Jonesy P9. Slider Squall ends up in P10. The ones on 3 tires are Tira, Fayer, Pickle Monkey, Ryan, and Jonathan Cox and Stooge, who didn't set a time. Stooge obviously serving that qualifying ban. Now then, the question is, what does the drivers decide to do? Can be quite tricky. We have a high possibility of a safety car, but also you want to be fast, but you might want to save the tires as well. And yeah, Jonathan Cox pushing a little bit too hard and spinning whilst trying to do a lap. It's very easy to do. But now then, we have the countdown. So it's just 20 seconds remaining before the lights out. Obviously no formation lap, as it causes more and drama and is quite unnecessary. But I understand the leagues that have it. Now then, 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 lights, 5 lights. The lights out and away we go. Shaunikus gets away very well. And I think that they have swapped around. Yes. LH and James swaps around, and we have a car. And we have multiple cars actually. Going a bit wild, but Jonathan Cox is out of the Grand Prix and Fair is all the way down in 15th. That's definitely not what's needed, and I'm guessing it's a virtual safety car. I can't actually see. But Shaunikus got away well. LH and James, P2 and P3, didn't swap places. Lewis got ahead, P4. Pants drops 1 position down into P5. Appledorn keeps P6. Wufafa got up into P7. Reloaded P8. Squall and Tira all up 1 place. Bayer and Jonesy losing a lot of places. Lewis on the outside of James into 130R. Oh, Dutch! Oh, and the Pans getting close as well. Lewis versus James. Who gets the better exit? Looks like James. Got him. Lewis isn't far behind. As we have Ryan Field pitting. And Tira has had something happen. Pans closing in on the McLaren driver as we have a yellow flag. It's the other McLaren of Stooge. Stooge spins in the S section. And that's another 3 position for Fair, working the way back up into 12. And as I'm gonna get the tires on, we have Fair, Stooge, Tira and Ryan on a separate compound from the rest. And the top 11 is on softs. We have Wufafa closing in. Fair, Tira and Stooge on the mediums, and Ryan has gone for the hards. Maybe trying to do the rest of the race. There is the predicted pit stop strategy. I don't believe that at all. As Lewis has had a moment. Sorry for missing that. But Lewis is down in P11. Hoping we can get a POV of that in the chat later. Now then, DRS is activated and Fair gets a 5-second speeding in the pit lane penalty. That's not what you want. But Pans very close to Appledorn. It's tough being this close with the dirty air. Reloaded also very close. We actually have the top 9 all within a second, from 4th down into 9, all within a second of each other. as Ryan gets a 3-second time penalty. Reloaded. Losing a bit of time to Pants, who's gaining on Appledorn. But now then, who can get a bit exit out of this 180-degree corner? Pants is closing in. And it isn't quite close enough. But can they get a good enough exit? If we have another yellow flag, it's a Ferrari. It is Tira. As we see Appledorn weaving to break the slipstream, and Pants can't quite get it there. Oh, as Pickle Monkey runs wide after overtaking Squall and loses the position back to Squall. Pickle Monkey very close to Squall. And Tira has retired. It's in the pits. Tira has already had enough. Ryan up into P13. As we see Pants getting close to Appledorn again. Yeah, so I'm trying to get the point. So pole was 2 points. And you get points all the way down to 12. And here now, Pants chasing down Appledorn. And now who gets the best exit? It actually looks like Pants has gotten the best exit, and now then, can Pants threaten into the first turns? Isn't quite, actually gets the move done. Appledorn left the space, and Pants dived right into that space and overtakes Appledorn up into P4 for the Williams driver. Squall closing in with Fafa, and Pickle Monkey not far behind as well. Fafa runs a bit wide, but gets a faster exit because of it. Squall is very close. Can they keep it during the exit? Loses a little bit of time, but it is very, very close indeed. As we have another yellow flag, it's a Ferrari in Triumph Field. Now then, can Squall get a good enough exit to threaten with off on the DRS straight? As we have Appledorn getting ahead, back ahead of RL Pants. Squall isn't close enough. So we'll go back up into this fight for P4. Pickle Monkey. Close. And Jones as well. Now Squall is having a look at Lufafa. Tries to switch back, but doesn't get a good enough exit to make it work quite yet. So we get a lovely helicopter view as James has had a moment. James has had a moment and is all the way And there we see James. Oh, spins again. I hope they manage to keep it out of the wall. Pickle Monkey. They have a four-way train here. Squall has a look. Can't get it done in 2 if he can this time, but now then. Wufafa going very defensive to the inside. Squall can't. Oh, and Wufafa has a moment. Touches the inside curb. Loses the position to Squall. Now under threat from Pickle Monkey. And Pickle Monkey has had a horrible entrance. Gives a chance to recover it. As he have a small gap to recover a mistake there. And thus so, but Jonesy got very, very closer to Pickle Monkey. Pickle Monkey surely feeling the pressure, but also wants to get ahead. James has decided to fit for the mediums. It's a bit early maybe, will struggle towards the end, but will probably make it with Fafa now. Very close on Slider Squall. Who can get the best exits? Actually looks like Jonesy did, and Jonesy closing in, getting ahead of Pickle Monkey before 130R. But Pickle Monkey tries to fight back, but Jonesy has that position. But have Jonesy lost DRS? Yes. But Pickle Monkey has spun. Pickle Monkey has spun on the final corner. So Jonesy isn't under threat. And Appledorn now in the fight with Pants for third. They still keep going. Fafa very close to Slider Squall again. Squall gets the exits they need just to keep ahead. Jonesy has caught back up into the DRS of Wufafa. Squall under immense pressure from the Wufafa now. Woof. As we so beautifully call him. No, it's not Wufafa. Jonesy closing in. Wufafa closing in even more. We have a look. Squall. Oh, they both have moments as Wufafa goes into the bits. Jonesy now then closing in on Slider Squall. As Appledorn has lost time to Pans. Is now over a second back. Has something happened? Possibly. We'll go back to the fight for 6th between the AlphaTauri and the Red Bull, Slider Squall and Jonesy respectively. As we see lose the beaker for close to Wufafa. But Wufafa, fresher tires, medium tires, should be able to keep this. We'll keep an eye as something has happened. LA, no, someone listens to this. It's James. James, I think, has had another moment. And James decides to retire, so now, if you finish, you get points. Jonesy, alongside, gets ahead of Squall into turn 1. I'm not sure if it's 2 turns, but I'm gonna call it turn 1. Fly the Squall. And Pants has crashed. Pants has crashed, and it's a safety car. Oh yeah, I can definitely understand why that's a safety car. That's very dangerous indeed. And Lewis straight into the pits for the mediums. Will keep P10. And has now fresh medium tires. So Lewis benefiting the absolute most. Thayer and Ryan, I am sure, will come into the pits to get fresh mediums on as well. I hope they remember to change the tires. But now then, we'll go through the order as we see the leaders coming through to the pit lane as well. They will all surely pit. Pants, amazing in chat. Such a shame, Pants. You were running a very good race up until that moment. It was looking very good. But Sean Nicholas is P1 ahead of LH 44 in Aston Martin. Appledorn is in a amazing 3rd place. Reloaded gets P4 or isn't P4. Jonesy just ahead of Squall, and Wufafa has already pits, gets ahead of both Jonesy and Squall. Very interesting. So Wufafa is P5 now, Jonesy P6, Squall P7, Pickle Monkey is P8, the Beaker is P9, Thayer is P10, and last but certainly not least is Ryan Field. Ryan is alive, which can't be said for Pants, James, Tira, Stooge and Jonathan Cox. I'm just gonna go on board with a couple of the drivers just to see what happens, and a couple of times you can catch something happen to help the guys with incident reports and stuff. LH is now on the back of Shonicus again. Now the question is, can they get ahead of the Division 1 champion, already crowned? They're just waiting for Thayer and Ryan Field to catch back up the field. Which keeping a steady gap of around a second. Now catches back up to Sean a little bit. Just keeping an eye. As it's very easy to accidentally tap someone. the Japanese Grand Prix. Jensen Button's favorite Grand Prix, as Jones has gone AI. I caught that on stream, Jonesy. It's definitely a penalty, which is gonna be fun if someone reports it. Fair at the back of the grid now, and Ryan just coming through. And about to catch up to the field, so I think we'll have the safety car in this lap. So we're gonna have a look at the front of the grid. And we don't have the safety car in this lap, which... Oh, it's a very late call, very late call. Shonicus has no time to back up the grid. Oh, now it's gonna be a bit chaotic. Sean goes, LH. I had to take a guess on when and didn't quite get it right, but Appledorn. We have multiple drivers very close to each other now. And Lewis has done something and has fallen way back. But Fayer is making progress, is now up into P9 after starting P12, going to the back of the grid. Is now, oh, as we have reloaded and Appledorn side by side. So a very quick section of the track. Appledorn. As Fayer is ahead of both Ryan and Pickle Monkey, who spins, I think. Why do I have to miss everything? Squall and Jonesy now. Squall without much better exit. And now they're gonna go side by side to 130R. Oh, Squall goes very wide. Oh, and they bang tires. And they give each other good space. As much space as you can give on a tight track like this. And now then, Jonesy. Again, side by side with Squall. And Squall gets the inside. And they go still side by side. Now Jonesy gets the position. And they have already lost 3 seconds up to the Alpine. Shows how much you lose whilst fighting cars. Take a quick look up here. Reloaded versus Appledorn. Don't see a move there, but we do have a fight for the lead. Shonicus versus LH. Oh, as the commentator curse, LH grazes the wall, and now Appledorn is up into P2 by virtue of not spinning. This is a track where you don't necessarily have to be the fastest driver. You just have to be consistent to get your way up. Fayer has shown that today, up into P7. As the arrest gets enabled, Appledorn weaving right to left to get reloaded off or out of the slipstream. lap 15 out of 27, and Appledorn has a very bad section there. Reloaded catching up a lot of time. As Fair is closing in on Squall, but we see a move. Had a look, but decides not to. Doesn't quite get the exit Fair. Fair really wants this P6. And needs it as well. Every point is crucial with the one Aston Martin out. As Squall goes wide. Very wide indeed, and Fair gets a lovely chicane, but Squall gets a better exit. But now then, with DRS, they go side by side. Fair on the inside. Fair has to move down, but can they make it through turn 1? Yes they can, as LH gets through Pickle Monkey up into P10. But Fair, ladies and gentlemen, as Fair spins! I was just about to praise you, Fair! I was just about to praise how well you've done to get up into P6 from the back of the grid basically after lap 1. But Fair does a bigger ball job than Tottenham Hotspurs. And now we'll have a look at Reloaded versus Appledorn in the fight for second place. These drivers have done very, very well. Reloaded doesn't get the exit that they need. But now the DRS can carry them? Not quite, so we'll have a look at Jonesy getting past Wufafa into turn 1 as Shaunikus has spun. Shaunikus has spun from the lead, and Appledorn versus Reloaded is now for the lead of the race. With just 11 laps to go, Shaunikus is down in P5. This shows that you don't have to be the fastest driver, as Shaunikus well and truly is the fastest driver, but Appledorn and Reloaded has been the best drivers today. Squall is very close to Sean as well. But now we have a very interesting fight for the lead of the race and quite possibly the win. They don't want us to squabble too hard though. Jonesy is only 3 seconds back. Reloaded. Not using ERS. Appledorn is ahead and gets a way better exit. Gains 3/10 just from the exit. Reloaded has the DRS. Now Lewis has gotten a very good exit compared to Ryan. Lewis, the Beaker, is up into P7. Ryan is under threat from LH44 as well. Trying to keep an eye on the gap as well between Appledorn and Reloaded. And ready to swap at any moment. Oh, Ryan is defending for their life and goes wide. Ryan goes wide and LH44 is through as Lewis Beaker spins. Lewis Beaker, and that's fair. Oh, that's Pickawonka spins, and that's fair up into P9. Lewis Beaker has had a race to forget, and Shahan is just 1.2 seconds behind Wufafa and gets the fastest lap of the race. We have a yellow flag. Has Lewis lost the front wing? Or a part of a front wing? Yes, quite possibly. Looks like the left end plate. As we have another yellow flag. Still 63. And Lewis Beaker gets a 3-second time penalty. Loaded. Oh, and Lewis gets a 5-second time penalty and decides to call it quits. I understand. But it would have been points. Points that might end up crucial. As Sean is breathing Wufafa down the neck. Getting closer and closer for every meter on the track. Now using a lot of ERS. And gets through up into P4. Reloaded. Closing in on Appledorn. And Wufafa gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That's not what you want. Fair back up into P7. We have Sean closing in on Jonesy. Wufafa on the soft tires can go for a fastest lap, which is a point. Because we'll have to wait because Reloaded is close to Appledorn. Very close indeed. And now it's all about the exit. Appledorn gets a little bit of a better exit. And they are both using a lot of ERS to defend and attack on each other. Reloaded very, very close through that chicane. And Appledorn continues with the weaving. Oh, sticks the nose up there, but Appledorn is further ahead and is brave on the brakes and Reloaded. As we have Shonicus getting ahead up into P3. And Wufafa picks up a track limits warning or penalty, sorry. And now the question is, can Shonicus catch and also overtake Reloaded and Appledorn? The big fight for what is currently P1. Appledorn and Reloaded. So consistent today. And Thayer is actually closing in on LH44. Possibly a P6. Reloaded has lost a lot of time on Appledorn. Over a second behind now. Gains a bit of time through the chicane, but loses it on the exit. Appledorn with a very good exit, and has done so every single lap. Sean is hunting, has the fastest lap of the race, and is only 2.3 seconds behind Reloaded. Jonesy trying to latch on to Sean, but just isn't able to. Reloaded has now closed in that gap on Appledorn to within 1 second. Has gained 4/10. And Appledorn picks up a 3-second time penalty, and that is crucial. Now Reloaded doesn't even have to overtake Appledorn. But the thing is, you might be able to get that warning removed if it was one that was quite bullshit. So I would still wanna get past, just in case. As Ryan picks up a 3-second time penalty. Reloaded is closing in on Appledorn. Might want to overtake Appledorn to have a car between themselves and Sean. And Appledorn again with a good exit. But on the second phase, Reloaded is catching. Oh, and Appledorn had a horrible first turn. Reloaded catching right back up. One Appledorn. Has lost everything, and now Reloaded can have a look. Doesn't decide to go for it quite there, but can maybe have a look into this hairpin. As we see, Shaunikus not far back at all. They get so close to each other. Reloaded. Reloaded doesn't quite get the exit, and Pickle Monkey has retired. And that's a safety car. A late safety car. And now the question is, do you pit? Obviously, if you pit for softs. But the question is, do you? There's not gonna be many laps. Appledorn decides, Reloaded decides, Sean decides. Jonesy decides not to. Jonesy is now the race leader. Squall goes into the pits. LH also goes. It will be interesting to see what Wufafa does. I don't think Wufafa will go into the pits. Wufafa does go into the pits. And this is quite a horrible feeling for Jonesy. Obviously is in first place, and it's pretty hard to overtake, except for on the sorting straight. But Appledorn, Reloaded, Sean, all on fresh soft. Thayer decided not to pit. It's in P5 on the mediums. And Thayer, if you get a top 3, I will figure something out. I will definitely eat my words about bottling. But still, a good recovery from the spin, if you can manage to keep P5. It is catching up, but I think we're gonna have the safety car out one more lap. And Wushana picks up a 3-second time penalty under safety car. And that's not what you want. Jonesy then in the lead for Red Bull Racing, but Appledorn with a 3-second time penalty in P2, reloaded, will want to get ahead as soon as possible because this guy right here, Shawnicus 05, is lightning quick. And Thayer decides to go into the pits. Thayer will be at the back of the grid. Actually, won't be on the back of the grid because Wufafa puts on tires and okay. So it's gonna be Thayer and Wufafa at the back of the grid. Thayer still have done quite good. Have started in 12th. Has technically only overtaken one car as the others have DNF, but was at the start of the race in last place. So definitely a big shout out to you, Thayer, today, as long as you finish the race. The safety car is gonna come in this lap, which means we will have 2 laps of racing, no DRS, to help Appledorn, Loaded and Shawnicus past Jonesy. And I can definitely you regretting the retirement. Victoria, as we would have been right there for points. That's the risk you take with the retirement. But I can definitely understand on lap 3 that it looks quite bad when you spin and lose your front wing and stuff. So I'm definitely not gonna say anything. Safety car is in this lap. This time we don't have it happen in the chicane. So Jonesy is in control of the pace. And now just needs to defend for 2 laps. Can Reloaded, can Sean do anything? Jonesy has gone and has gotten some distance, but Sean is already side by side with the Reloaded. Sean Reloaded with an amazing defense, and Reloaded keeps the position from Sean. Very, very good defense, as LH has spun and collected Faye. But Reloaded has overtaken Appledorn, and that is crucial. Now Reloaded only have to overtake Jonesy. If we look at Sean tries and Jonesy spins. I don't know if they were taken out. But Sean has lost out. Squall is now ahead. Anything can happen in Formula 1, and that is shown here today. Sean closing up on Squall. Goes to the inside to 130R and gets it done. It's now up into P3, but it's only 1 lap remaining. Unfortunately for Appledorn, they're gonna shoot right down. into currently I think P6 or 7. Which definitely isn't fun. But Reloaded has P1. And most crucially has Appledorn to defend from Sean. Sean trying everything. Oh, and they touch! Appledorn and Sean touches. Sean manages to save it. Sean getting very desperate now. Wants to win. Yes, we have the Ferrari in P5, but they are gonna lose a couple of positions due to a penalty. Shanicus is gonna try to get past Appledorn. You want it on track as well as through penalties, but it's not gonna happen. Sean is gonna have to stay in third. Reloaded is gonna come home to take the Japanese Grand Prix. Appledorn second on track will drop right down, so Sean gets second. Squall gets third. A great day for AlphaTauri. Appledorn got fourth in the end, just ahead of Jones, who had an unfortunate moment. LH, I think, got it on penalties ahead of Ryan Field. Mufafa gets P8, and Fair, really unlucky at the end there, comes home in P9. Wow, what a race. What a race. Ryan Field gets driver of the day. For me, the driver of the day is someone. Yeah, I'd say the race winner. Appledorn deserves a shout, but unluckily got the penalty. But yeah, my driver of the day, Reloaded, wins from 7th. Sean gets P2 in the end. Squall gets P3. As I said, fantastic day for AlphaTauri. 1-3. Appledorn P4. Jonesy P5. The decision to not pit got him a couple of places. LH44 gets P6. Ryan gets P7. Wufafa P8. Fair gets P9. And the last of the finishers, Pickle Monkey, gets P10 on track. The Beaker retired in 11th, Pants 12th, James 13th, Chira 14th, Stooge 15th, and Jonathan Cox got P16. What a race indeed. But yeah, that was Division 1, sponsored by Simracer Coin. I hope they are entertained by this action that we just saw. Incredible race. And I'm looking forward for the season finale in France next weekend. I have been your host, Jesper, and I hope to see you next week. Take care.